I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? Okay. So we got Mr. Tinman here. Now, yes, of course, I'm not making this up. His last name is Tinman, and I love it. But not only that, he's younger than some of the authors that I've interviewed. And I kind of got to dig deep to find out what makes a young person want to write a book. All right. So welcome to the show.
I am very glad to be here, Miss Diamonds. It is, yeah. I realize because writing or the whole like being an author profession is one of those things you hear in like kindergarten or like 1st through 4th grade. I'll be generous there, and you're just like, who in their right mind would want to go into a field so boring like that? Like kids that young, they want to be like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter. I want to have action adventure in my life. And, I never would have, you asked me 5-6 years ago, hey, you ever think you'll publish a book? I'd say you're crazy. What are you talking about? But I guess I'd be wrong because here I am.
Wow. So let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to the moment where you decided, or that it kind of the inkling came about where it was like, I think I want to write a book. No.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't even my idea.
Oh goodness.
It was
no wonder you did it.
Yeah, it's funny enough, it was my mom's idea. And so a little context to the story. It was summer of 2019. And I'm with my brother. I'm with my family and my brother's fiance, or now fiance at the time, girlfriend. We were sitting in our camper, and my buddy in high school, his name was Richard. He got me into Dungeons and Dragons. And ever since when he first like got me into it, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, I figured it out eventually. But yeah, and then my brother and his girlfriend they saw how much I enjoyed it. They saw how much I was having fun, and they're just like, "Oh, can we try this?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I got them started, and I do a session where I'm the dungeon master. I'm the controller of the game. And after the session, my mom comes up to me, and moms are always just like, "Oh, you're so talented. You should. You're so imaginative. You should write a book." And I'm like, "Crap! I got a whole summer of nothing to do. Might as well." So that's how that ball got rolling.
Well, then it wasn't your idea. So it was an older person that had the idea to write a book.
Yes, it was.
So oh my gosh, it kind of like it came from an older person, but it was from a younger mind. So tell me, what was it like to actually write this book and get it, and get into the characters?
It was, usually some people would say like it was difficult to a degree. For me, it really wasn't. And I like, there goes my ego, right? Somebody's got to come along with a pin and pop it. But no, honestly, it wasn't that difficult because, growing up, I watched the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy with my family multiple times. It was multiple. I could like mouth the entire movie off of memory.
I can't do that.
Yeah, that goes to show, right? But yeah, so it really wasn't that difficult. I mean, the most difficult part was coming up with like original characters. I kind of already had like the story mapped out in my mind, but just like bits and pieces. I had where I wanted it to start, and then throughout the writing process, I kind of just went with it the entire time. I was like, oh yeah, that would seem pretty cool, and then boom, I'd add it. And yeah, it was it was really it was not as difficult as I thought it'd be,
What did you think it would be?
I don't know. It was one of those things where you walk into it and you don't know what to expect, but you always find yourself saying, well, wasn't that? You don't know what to expect, but sure as heck, I don't know what that was.
I hear you. Wow. So getting into the characters, you said that the most difficult part for you was developing the characters. Was that because of your experience and your love for, Lord of the Rings and different movies and books like that?
A little bit, because you gotta one of the things about especially the Lord of the Rings and other popular series in general is that the person who comes up with it makes characters that people fall in love with. Why do you think the TV show Friends had so many seasons, right? So you have to develop characters that people will kind of relate to, or kind of be sympathetic, or just be like, man, that would be a really cool person to have as a friend,
I gotcha. In other words, people who are in your fantasy but not in real life.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the whole thing with fantasy, and even I'll say video games, books, movies, even the semi-realistic ones like Fast and Furious, the whole point is a break from reality, because reality can suck. Just
tell me about it.
Just speaking freely, reality can suck. So books, and especially fantasy books, movies, media, and all of that is just a break from reality, where you could just see something that's impossible in our world. But especially with movies, because you can actually see it with CGI and all that, you see stuff that should be impossible. You Legolas taking down that big elephant in Return of the King by himself. That shouldn't have been possible, but it happened. You saw it happen right in front of you. It's that spark of wonder and amazement that gets people hooked. I
can tell this makes you excited.
Is it that obvious?
No.
Okay.
I'm lying. Yeah, it is. Obvious. But that's good. I mean, okay, so you wrote this book. How satisfied are you with this book?
Honestly, I am extremely satisfied. I mean, obviously, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have to be, though. It's one of those things for me, because I was growing up, I was raised to be very humble. God has blessed me with many, many things. Even this interview, for example, I've been blessed with this. It was funny, because when I first sent the manuscript to Covenant Books, the publisher, when I got ordered the pamphlet from them, getting the details of how the process would be, they said, well, sending in the manuscript is not going to cost you anything. Just do it for free. Just send us the PDF. And if we don't like it, we'll send it back with suggestions on what you should change. You can send it back for free, and then we'll 9 out of 10 take it. And so I sent it, and I was surprised that they took it on the first go round. They didn't suggest any major changes. And I'm like,
excuse me,
are you sure? Nope. And then that ball got rolling, and then then I got a call from a guy named Cliff saying he wanted to make a screenplay out of it, and it was, and I'm like,
is this a possible movie deal?
It is. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but
well, we don't know yet. I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah.
Cat's already out of the bag, kind of, with that. But so yeah, it was one of those things where I was just again, I was like, are you sure?
Me?
Me? It's like when you're sitting in a classroom, and you're the one kid that doesn't have his hand raised, and the teacher's like, you, the one person that isn't trying to get my attention.
Tell me about it. That was me.
Yeah.
I was trying to duck behind the seats. So wow, that is so cool. So okay, so if this does happen, I mean, first of all, how do you feel about that? I mean, I know that you said it's kind of like who, me, but literally getting down deep and into the feeling aspect of this whole thing. You didn't expect it to actually be accepted on the first try, and now a screenplay.
It's so surreal, because in your mind, okay, they're doing this stuff over in Pennsylvania, for example. I'll use the publishing process as an example. You take that whole process, and at the time I was a freshman in college. Right now I'm a junior in college. I'm in my dorm room right now. So every time I would go out, get food, and every day I would go to my classes, work on my homework in my room, and I would check my email daily, because that's just a college thing you do. You just check your email daily. And every time I would get I had my publishing representative contact info on my phone. I think I still do. But every time I would get an email, my heart would race. It would be like Usain Bolt after the gun shot, just bang, it's gone. And so I'd be like, oh, I gotta check the email. and I would read it, and I'm like, okay, this is what I have to do next. And a big part of the publishing process, not a lot of people know about this, but a lot of it kind of depends on the author, especially a first-time author, because you have to send them the manuscript. At least this was just with Covenant Books. I'm not sure about other publishing firms, but they would send me like the revisions, like the grammar fix, which, by the way, is not that big a deal. So if you're a first-time author out there, don't over-exaggerate the grammar, because that's something the publishing company does. They'll fix like all the grammar. Just make sure your story makes sense, your characters are, good. And yeah, so I would check my email, and a lot of the process, they said 6 to 8 months. That's the estimate they gave me right off the bat. They said a lot of depending on how long or short it is, kind of depends on the author. So we send you an email with, like, for example, the grammar fixes, you approve it, we can get on with the next step. So I was kind of just like, okay, I gotta hurry, get it done.
Wow. So you're in college and you're in your dorm right now. What is your major?
I am going into physical therapy. There is a personal story behind as to the reason why.
I'm trying to figure out physical therapy author.
Jack of all trades, I know.
Yeah, right. I mean, so what if this does take off for you? You get your physical therapy degree, and then you become a, award-winning author.
Well, I haven't had any awards yet.
You never know.
That is subject to change.
Yep.
But like I said, it's sort of like surreal. You know what's happening, but it's not something you can hold like the actual book, So yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to say college. It's kind of just like filling up the time in between the phone calls between like the publishing company or the screenplay company. But that in effect, that's kind of what it is.
I hear you. Wow. So, I mean, okay, so congratulations on everything. And hopefully it will be accepted and turned into a movie. I would like to go see it.
So would I.
Oh, yeah. And okay, so, I mean, everything that's happened is you're so young, you're in college, you're going through physical therapy and trying to get your degree in that. You got a book, comes out, boom, it's like first try and everything. What next for you? Is there a sequel? I mean, forget college right now. You're in it. It's taking up its time. I'm talking about the book.
Yeah, there is a sequel on the way. I'm like 30-ish pages into it at the moment. But yeah, college has taken up a lot of time. Plus, when I was writing the first one, and this is kind of still ringing true for the second, it how to phrase this. So professional authors that make series, like my favorite book series ever is The Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan. That is my favorite book series ever to ever exist. There are some authors like that who sit down for 3 or 4 hours, 5 hours at a time and just write. They just go at it. They're just like, okay, I have a set number of pages I want to get done in this amount of time. I'm going to sit down and just solely focus on this.
Wow.
I haven't been able to do that. So whenever I write, it would be whenever I was in like the mood, like my mindset was like on fantasy. And usually, funny enough, it was after watching a Lord of the Rings movie or something along those lines.
So do you watch that for inspiration, at least a little bit, to get your mind going?
Yes, I did.
No wonder you can like dictate the lines.
Yeah. Yeah. You should like have somebody put like a big nerd alert behind me in the editing process, just like
in neon lights, like me. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Huge nerd.
Yes. You and me both. Wow. Well, congratulations on everything, man. I tell you, you're headed towards a great future. Where can people find your book?
They can find it in one of 3 places. They can find it on Amazon. I think the price was like $6 or $7 now. You can find it on Kindle if you don't want a physical copy, and you can get it at Barnes and Nobles. There's actually a funny story kind of behind that. Where I'm at right now with college, there's a Barnes and Nobles like just like a 10-minute drive from here. And when I was moving in with my family last year, because this is my second year here, we went to the Barnes and Nobles and asked like the help desk if they had any of my book in stock. And they said, no, but I can order it. And I said, oh, don't worry about it. I'm the author. I got like 10 copies at home.
And what'd they say?
They kind of freaked out a little bit. They're just like,
yeah.
wow, that because how often does the author of the book come in and say, hey, do you got any copies of my book?
Exactly. Wow. Well, that is kind of cool, man. One day I want to go into Barnes and Noble and be like, hey, do you have a book by Yaya Diamond? I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm a nerd anyway, so yeah, it might happen really soon. But thank you so much. I am telling you, Mr. Tinman, I just appreciate you. Where can people follow you on the internet? Do you have like Instagram or something like that?
I do have an Instagram. I don't post all too often. The platform I'm usually on is TikTok. I'm on the kind of the Dungeons and Dragons side of TikTok. Got a bunch of fellow creator friends on there. You can follow me at the Irish Giant Tinman. And if you couldn't guess, I'm pretty proud of that heritage. Instagram, I'd have to check. I'm pretty sure the username is the name. Like I said, I don't go on there a whole lot. That's the wrong button. All right. Irish Giant Tinman on Instagram, TikTok, Andrew Tinman on Facebook. I don't know who still uses Facebook for the one grandma out there, you know?
Yeah, right. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Tinman, for being on the show. I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, don't forget that the information for Mr. Tinman will be in the description box below so that you guys can go ahead and follow him on TikTok. TikTok is a really cool platform. You'll like it. You'll have fun with it. And you'll be addicted. Just get off after 5 minutes if you can. All right. I'm just gonna
must force yourself at some point to get off.
The force be with you, okay? And until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. Bye. Bye. Really.
See you later.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah. You are kidding.
I did to be different. I did.